I have seen one too many people who are not in real estate make a comment about what the job of a real estate agent is recently. I know I'm not the only one seeing these things, and if you're an agent and you're anything like me, it can get pretty frustrating to see so many comments about how real estate agents don't earn their commission. All they do is open doors. I'm not paying you just to send me a DocuSign. If you've had a bad experience, I am not invalidating that, but that just means you had a bad agent. So today we're going to talk about what your real estate agent should be doing for you and what the job of a real estate agent really is. Welcome back to another video, day 10 of 100. We have officially hit the double digits and we're going to be here for a while. Once again, I am not trying to invalidate the people who have had poor experience with real estate agents, because I have too. As an agent, I've had co-ops with other agents that I'm like, how in the world does this person have any business, respectfully, because they are just bad. So if you're one of those people and that's why you're making one of these comments like we don't earn our commission, blah, 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 then I understand. But I'm making this video to help you, so next time you go to buy or sell a home, you can pick a good agent who does all the things that we're going to talk about today. If there's other agents watching this video, I'm sure that you guys are going to be like, hallelujah, amen. Thank God somebody's saying it. And I'm doing it for you too, but once again, I'm also doing it for the people who've had a bad experience, so you know exactly what your agent should be doing. And if they're not, you can look for a new one. And we're going to start off hot because this is one thing that I feel like I've experienced a lot when co-oping with other agents. And I'm sure if you're a buyer or a seller and you're one of these people who've had a poor experience, then this has been one of your takeaways as well. But your agent should be a fantastic communicator. As a real estate agent, it is pretty much our job to just be on or around our phone as much as we can. Of course, if we're at an appointment or if we're handling some business, then we may not be able to answer or respond right away, but it shouldn't be more than, I don't know, half an hour. And that may be a little too gracious, because even if you're at an appointment and you see one of your clients texting you or calling you or something, the least you can do and the least you should do is at least reach out and say, hey, I'm doing this, get back to you at this time. That takes like 10 seconds, but so many agents don't do it. Same thing goes if once again you're co-oping with somebody and they reach out to you with a question or something about the contract. If you're busy, you can just say, hey, I'm doing this, I'll get back to you at this time. And I understand that there are agents who do plenty more volume than I do, so maybe it can get a bit overwhelming for those people, but this is like 10 seconds we're talking about. And if you have that much business, then hopefully you probably have mastered communication by now. Another thing I see is when problems arise, the communication tends to kind of fall off a little bit. And especially for me, that is a thing that I'm just like, let's just work it out, because I'm a very non-confrontational person. I also have pretty much everybody's best interest in mind. I'm a people pleaser, and I think most agents are. So you don't have to worry about me jumping down your throat or, coming at you or anything crazy. I just want to talk so we can work this out. So absolutely, communication is one of the things that you should be looking for in an agent, and one thing that real estate agents should always do well. Next up, and this sort of goes hand in hand with communication, but you need somebody who's going to be honest and truthful all the time. And that all starts at the very beginning of the process. Once you have a budget set, it's your agent's responsibility to only show you houses in that budget, or show you houses that they believe they could get you in that budget. There are many people who want to see properties that are simply outside of the budget. While it's fun to go play house hunters and all this stuff, if it's not realistic, it should be your agent's responsibility to tell you that, and you as the client to accept that and not get upset that your agent won't show you a house that's $50,000, $75,000 over your budget. There's no harm intended. All it is trying to protect your time and ours. If you're a buyer, it's not in your best interest to go see a property that's well outside of your budget, because all that's going to do is show you all the things that you want but cannot get at this time. I'm not saying we can't negotiate the price down, but sometimes it just sets an unrealistic standard for how your home search is going to go, and all you're going to be doing throughout the process is just comparing everything to this property that you couldn't get in the first place. Same thing for sellers. If you have an agent come in and you tell them a price you want for your property and all data points to that not being a great number, it's the agent's job to tell you respectfully that this will be a better price to list your house at, and here's why. Of course, if you're an agent, make sure you have good reason for that. But once again, it all comes back to being upfront and honest from the beginning of the process. It's honestly going to save you a lot of heartache and stress down the line, because even if you do go under contract at a number that is well over the value of the property, Guys, it's going to have to be appraised unless you got a cash buyer. And when that appraisal comes in and it's low, then all sorts of issues can be created, and we don't want that. So just be honest, be upfront from the beginning. That is what a good agent should do. Another big job for a real estate agent is knowing the market. So if you are an agent, or if you are someone who has an agent, then you or they should be waking up every morning to check the MLS to see what is on the market. Over time and through consistency with doing this, you'll naturally pick up on trends. You'll know exactly what is available in and around the area and at what price range, which helps everybody. Because again, if you're in a situation where, maybe you're wanting to sell your house, then your agent should know exactly what the market is telling them so they can tell you what the best price is. And then also as a buyer, if you go into a situation where you're trying to buy a house and you see maybe this one is a little overpriced, the agent should be able to pick up on that right away so they can help you negotiate that price down. Another big responsibility of a real estate agent is to ensure that all key dates are met and ensure that you as the buyer or seller are familiar with the timelines in place. There's 3 or 4 things that have to happen from the time you go under contract to the time you close that will pretty much make or break the entire deal. So your agent should not only be on top of those things, but make sure that you know about those things as well. So just in case something does go wrong, you're not taken by surprise. Once all the contingencies are met, there's a couple things that need to be done, like wiring money and electronically signing documents for the attorneys. And it's up to the agent to ensure that not only they, but you are on top of those things. The last thing you want is to get to the closing table, be excited to buy or sell your home. Next thing you know, somebody forgot to do something because their agent didn't tell them to. Crazy things have happened, guys. The last thing we're going to talk about, and I really didn't go into detail about showing houses or showing your house and the contract process. We're going to save that for another video. But the last thing that a good agent can and should do is connect you to vendors. Let's just say a repair needs to be made, or you're new to the area and you want to know where things are. Your agent should have the knowledge of the market and know people around the area who should be able to help you with these things. If you're an agent and you're doing all of these things, then you're probably having a great career in this industry. If you're not, then start and watch how much it gets better. Not only will it be better for you and for your clients, but long term, it's going to be so much better because your reputation will be that of somebody who works hard. And at the end of the day, all of these things combine into that one thing, which is just working hard. Same thing for you as a buyer or seller. If you are looking for an agent, then make sure you find somebody who is doing all of these things. That way you have somebody who people want to work with. This has turned into somewhat of just like a rant and kind of like a list of things that real estate agents should be doing. The moral of the story is that there are a lot of responsibilities as an agent. So if you are not one, please understand that as long as you're working with a good agent, then they are doing all of these things for you. They're not just saying, oh, hey, you want to go look at this house? Show up to the house. Don't do anything again until it's time to send a contract, and then don't do anything again until closing day. That's just not what it is. I understand how if you've had a bad experience, it could seem that way from the outside. But once again, if you're working with a good agent, or if you are a good agent, then you know that that is not the case. I appreciate everybody for watching though, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Probably could have been a lot longer, or I probably could have said a lot more things. But if you're an agent, or if you were just somebody who wants to know what the job of a real estate agent is really like, I hope you found value in this video, and I hope this answered that question for you. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video. It would mean a lot, and it would show me that the hard work on the YouTube channel is paying off. But I appreciate you all, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.